Welcome back, everybody. Saturday night, you know what that means. It's Monster of the Week. We're going to find out who our resident monsters are and what they did to earn that title. There were some wild games in the earlier events today. I was collating data, we'll say. May have a few things in mind for what we're going to do with that data. We're going to talk about it as we get into things. And get into it. I'm going to do right now. So what's good, chat? What's going on, DT? Steven, welcome. Everybody else that's hanging out and lurking, what's good? Just getting this out at the front of things. As always, I am part of the content affiliate program. The Phobies team does, in fact, give me coffee for producing Phobies content. So getting that out of the way, make sure everybody knows the context before we get into the Monster of the Week games and the rest of the stream. So the first game we're going to look at from Monster of the Week is, I'm going to say it's Gao. I know I was saying Gua before, but I think it's Gao. I don't know. You got to let me know how to pronounce your name. Versus Alien Engineer. Now, this is on one of the new maps. This is one of the new maps, Never Forever. And as I was watching the games earlier today, we're going to talk a little bit about Monster of the Week in general here as we're getting set up. I love this map after playing it. It's a very weird map, and I do, notably, there were a few players who have used Rusty. Rusty, I think, is going to be a strong play on this map because it prevents if your opponent ever gets Rustied, they're probably losing whatever got Rustied, either literally to the pit or because it's just going to get wildly pulled out of position. So there were multiple Rusties on this map, and I want to pull up some stats and talk about them as we're going through. I posted these stats into my Discord. And so from the first event, we're talking just the first event, there were a total of 3 attractors played, 2 of which were in a single game. So the attractors went 2-1 overall. The one game where there was an attractor by one player and not by the other, the attractor won. There were 0 phantoms throughout the entire event. There were 2 shove sharks throughout the entire event. 2. And they lost both times. So I'm just putting that out there because we've been talking a lot about shove shark as of late. Now, those aren't the only key notes from the games, but they are relevant because they were weird. The games really did get weird. That's why we're going to try and look at a few of these before we get into the next set of Monster of the Week, for the live portion, we'll say. So notably, there were 1, 2, 3, 4. Never Forever was picked 4 times. And Home Sweet Home was the next one. And one of the games, they actually chose Rush Hour, which I didn't think anybody was going to pick that map. But I am really surprised at how many people have been choosing this map. I'm actually kind of surprised by that. Also, Alien Engineer just kind of dominating here. Alien Engineer just kind of dominating here. Notably, the Honey Bear to prevent the tiles. We did talk about this before. On my way to tell the Phobies Discord that Shove Shark is vastly overrated. Honestly, like real talk, DT, I did actually consider doing that after this, but mostly as a meme because, like, it's one event. It's not like... And it was primarily one map, so it's not like we're talking about anything huge here, which I know you know, but it was just funny. It was very funny to me. But truth be told, since Shove Shark has been released, it has not really made a significant impact on Monster of the Week. I don't even think it made a significant impact on Fright Night. Now, all of these things could be people don't have it. It could be people just are doing it wrong. Speaking of Shove Shark. Honestly, I guess the Blom would not have been good across the top. You probably lose the beauty. I mean, at this point, this was pretty much a classic Alien Engineer game, right? Like, dominate the early and mid game, go into the late game with 7 billion keys, and then just pummel your opponent. I don't know why, but the conveyor belt just funneling a phobie into the abyss like this is way funnier to me than it is if they get booped. It's just so comical. It, honest to God, feels like a cartoon. Oh, by the way, Cupcake. I didn't count the cupcakes. Cupcakes showed up a few times. There were a couple phobies, such as Repeller. I was mentioning that earlier. Repeller showed up an enormous amount, and I have to wonder, like, should I have been tracking those instead? Or in addition to, at the very least. So we did get a Shove Shark play, for what that's worth. I have no idea why they put the muffin that far out. Does it make a... I mean, it didn't make a meaningful difference, but, like... Sure. GG. GG. So just to make it easy on myself, we're going to stick with Alien Engineer's profile, and we'll kind of jump around. But the next... This was the... I believe this was the Attractor Mirror, if I recall correctly. So again, one match that we had on Rush Hour, because I don't know who hates themselves enough to choose this map. I was talking about creating custom map pools, and I believe we have now, I think it was 59 maps. I got to check my spreadsheet again. Maybe I missed one because there's a lot, but point is that we could probably cut it down to a third of that and still maintain what we want. Now, my criteria for it, I'm still a little fuzzy on for how I'm going to do it, because I don't want it to just be, well, players vote on it, because there's a lot of things that go into it as far as, especially on a competitive scene, that a competitor will want certain criteria that aren't necessarily going to be healthy for the event. Because if, you know, say you have an ultra-rare phobie that is very good on map X, well, you're going to clearly want that map to be maintained because you're at an advantage, and odds are your opponent doesn't have it because it's an ultra-rare, or if a super high stress level one would be another example, and maybe that map just sucks, and it necessitates. So, like, the Once Lore, like, before tons of people got Akira, if you had Akira, you'd want the Once Lore to be in the pool, but the Once Lore is a terrible map. So that's one that I can tell you right now is going to get removed. Same with Agora. Not, although we haven't seen Agora in forever, but I promise you we're not going to let people play on Agora if I do this. So I have to come up with what the concrete criteria for this is going to be. And I have some ideas in mind, because I think the way I want to go about it is types of maps. So these are rushdown maps, say a Moai or a Coulrophobia, that sort of thing, where, yes, there are options to not just push, but let's be real, most people do that. There probably should be a map like that available in the pool if it's an option, but we don't want like 3 of them. Now, we're at the mercy of the devs' rotation. We have no input on that until they create it so that we can have all maps and frenemies. But I could probably break the maps up into broad categories where, okay, these are the stall maps. Well, there should be a stall map available in the pool. Yes, everybody hates that play pattern, but it's a valid pattern, especially at a competitive level. So I think it should be available for players to choose if they really want to. And the goal here is that we're going to remove the map ban system. We don't use it for Monster of the Week. This would be, and there's Attractor number 1. This would be for the purpose of Fright Night, because I've found that a lot of people just can't figure out the map ban system. I've written the rules over and over again, like different ways, presented in different ways. I've talked people through it. They still can't figure it out. And I think that it's just another layer of overhead that would help create... Like, if we remove it, it would streamline things. So we do see from Shinra one of the alleged responses to Attractor. Now, I'll be honest. I don't like Glob as an answer. End of sentence. I especially don't like glob as an answer with this many keys left. This is almost as bad as the turn 1 boomer play, which I find it hilarious that other people are saying that now. Having near 0 map selection is pretty weird. It seems like it's too important for competitive play to not have there. I'm debating it, Tona. Like, I like the idea of having it. The problem is that in a best of 1 situation, because I want to talk about glob. In a best of 1 situation, we can obviously only give one person the map choice. You can't have 2 people choose one thing. That doesn't make any sense. So if that's true, so there's 2 parts to this. One is, if everybody bans effectively the same maps every time, let's just remove them because there's no point. Now, there's an argument to remove them and then give people the ability to ban among the remaining. I don't know if I want to go that far, because if people can't handle the current system, they can't handle that system. I can promise you that. But if people are... Again, it circles back to the point that if one person's choosing, like we're still in a weird spot. I would love to do 2 of 3 for Swiss rounds, but we just can't. The games take too long. It's not uncommon for a game to go 35, 40 minutes. And then if you want to do best 2 of 3, it's just... we tried that at an early Fright Night with 75-minute rounds, and it just took too damn long. So, coming back to the glob point, I mean, Alien Engineer responds with a glob, which is fine. But the challenge, and Shinra going with the previously best phobie in the game, Akira. I don't like the early glob. I would rather have seen Hydra or Cerberus, or even hell, Alligator. Admittedly, all of those cost more keys than glob. But there are no electricals. There's no poison. Alligator would have been able to... I mean, I guess other than disease. Alligator could have gone on to the spa. Point is, you need something... You need some big dummy, like what Alien Engineer is putting on the board in Hydra. You need big dummies, allegedly, to fight a tractor. And this is part of the reason why I'm keeping the stats and tracking things, because I want to see, okay, is a tractor actually a problem, or do people just hate it? That's a valid reason. I'm writing up... I actually referenced an article that I wrote years ago about bans and reasons that things should be banned in other games, specifically card games. And one of the reasons is something is quote-unquote unfun. Like, if it really changes the game to something that's different than what the game is supposed to be about. And that's a very, very dangerous route to take. But, by the way, 4-1 panic point advantage. Shinra just getting bodied here. And the Attractor's out of range right now, but the Akira's going to put it in. This is... I don't know, we'll see. Alright, so we get the second Attractor. Terraform on Alien Engineer's side. Is the goal here to kill the glob? No, I remember how this goes. Yeah, we get a glob on the glob, I think. Yeah, so glob eats glob. It's a glob eat glob world. So from this position, this doesn't look... I want to see how this ends the turn, because there's a lot of things going on here. $12 keys for Alien Engineer, by the way. My God, was this an arithmetic error? 5 health on that glob. That one's not going to feel good. So, this Attractor killed a Contortio. Honestly, it might have been better if it just moved up rather than, like, I don't know. Here's the thing. That turn may have seemed pretty cool from Shinra. And believe me, it was a decent turn. You got some value out of it. You were able to clear stuff out. You could almost clear this glob. Alien Engineer still has 12 keys. And we all know what Alien Engineer does when they get that second wind. I love how this is, like, this is Alien Engineer's signature. I mean, people have This is what I'm talking about, because that Glob lived. The Glob is going to trade with the Akira because it lived with 5 HP, and you can't blame levels. Everything's at level 1. You get the Puke. Alien Engineer getting a lot of mileage out of the Honey Bear in this event. This is like Alien Engineer's... What the hell? Gargles? I don't remember this when I watched this earlier, but... this is like Alien Engineer's signature move. And I've been calling it out a lot, but it is cool. Like, people have signature phobies. They have signature strategies. Like, Potenzia has proven themselves to be a very aggro player. Like, they're going for the throat as much as they can. Now, they make the excuse that they don't have a great collection, but they put in a lot of value there. Whereas Alien Engineer is playing this game plan where it's, I'm going to fight you, I'm going to force you to overcommit on the board, and then my second wave is going to crush you. And that's what happened here. Yeah. GG. All right, so we're still keeping on with Alien Engineer. We're looking at round 3 with Morbidity here. Going up against Master Dark. This is a pretty quick game at 16 turns on a fairly large map. So we'll see what happens in this one. I don't remember... Don't quite remember. So yeah, to call out the earlier stats... Ow. Slapped my hand on the desk weird by accident. To call out the earlier stats, like I said that there were Shove Sharks that lost, and we did see one in Alien Engineers round 1, but the thing is that this is where stats are deceiving sometimes. That Shove Shark showed up at the end of the game and kind of did nothing. So the devs have alluded to the fact that they have KPIs or key performance indicators that are weighted to how much influence a phobie can have on a game at a given point in time, aka when does it show up in the game, how much impact should it have, that sort of thing, which they can do mathematically, because obviously they were well prepared to have these systems, but also they have access to the back end. We're just going to have to calculate things by hand and try and figure it out. So it's not quite fair to say that Shove Shark was useless that game, because, like, I mean, it's kind of obvious, right? Like, do I really need to explain it? But either way, we're getting Alien Engineer jumping out to a big panic point advantage. This map does seem to be fairly player 1 favored. So, like, this is where the map choice discussion comes in. I don't know which player chose this map. So the way the format works is basically you flip a coin. One player chooses who goes first. One player... Whoever wins the coin flip chooses whether they want to go... They choose the map or they choose who goes first. Then you pick the map, and then the other person chooses who goes first. So, if you choose Morbidity, then the other person chooses going first, assuming it is truly player 1 has a big advantage. Is that worth it? It's an interesting discussion to have and an interesting thing to look at. In this particular case, like I said, I don't know what the scenario was, but Alien Engineer did jump out to an early lead, and we know the game is not very long, so... Inference says that Alien Engineer probably wins this one. Even Alien Engineer being one of the best players in the game aside. Maintaining this panic point advantage, it's 5-2. Like, this is a lot of pressure. Master Dark has to respond pretty quickly here. So they had to back off the Tooth Fairy because the Klepto and the Ginsting would have combined to kill it. Oh, I don't love that. I don't love this, because does this Daisy just die? This Daisy might just die. So we're trading Snowball for the Daisy. I guess it's fine. The Meatball here probably ensures, that this is out of range. And this is something else that I should track, but I didn't, at least in the initial data. How many cupcakes? I think Alien Engineer was the only player to use Cupcake, but I'm also going off of memory, and that's notoriously bad. But this game has basically been 5-1 or 5-2 panic point wise the entire time. Master Dark is struggling to get through this, like clawing from behind. We do get the panic play here. Possibly get a Jin Sting takedown. You should get the takedown because you're going to get 2 hits here. The problem is with the Cupcake, that's going to allow the Klepto to probably kill the opposing Jin Sting and Cassowary, freeing up the Murder Wing and Tooth Fairy to clean up this Klepto, and that's probably game on the spot. That assumes you even need the Cupcake. Maybe you don't even need the Cupcake based on this. Wait, what? Alright, Alien Engineer's playing it much safer than I thought they were going to. Maybe the math didn't work out, but I feel like if you Cupcake the Klepto, you kill these two pretty much for sure. And then, like I said, the other two can probably clean up the Klepto. Although Meatball was down, so maybe not. Probably only get like 500 damage there. Yeah, you probably don't kill the Klepto, but it might have been worth it just to cripple it. I don't know. Either way, Master Dark is on the ropes. Does stabilize a little bit more with a 4-3 panic point advantage. Master Dark is kind of making it even as far as keys go, 11 to 10. But ultimately, like, you're barely clinging to life. Like, look at the Phobies. First of all, quantity of Phobies, the health of the Phobies, and then you're looking at this. There's still a Cupcake lurking. I don't know, what do you think, chat? Should Cupcake go on the watch list? Is Cupcake still threatening enough to deserve... By the way, I'm like 90% sure that this Quagmire is going to lock the Klepto in. I don't know that it's worth leaving the Tooth Fairy there. The reason why is now the... I guess you'd have to full retreat the Tooth Fairy, because you can kill it with this, and then now you can claim that panic point. Okay, never mind. The Quagmire's just going in. Alright, so you're going to annihilate this Clopster. The Electric Cat beatdown. Ah! The Morty Snipe. By the way, Alien Engineer out of keys. How often do you see that happening in the first wave? So I will say Master Dark put up a pretty solid fight here, but... ball game, folks. GG. Alright, so we're coming back to Morbidity. We're looking at some of the other games going on. We, of course, watched an Alien Engineer Shinra game earlier, but we're here looking at Killer Ox versus Shinra. Now, the reason why we're starting with this game is because there's some interesting stuff going on in this, if I recall correctly. Hopefully I picked the right game. We're going to try and get in as many as we can before we jump into the final Monster of the Week event of the day. Leo Rob, welcome. What's good? So the Maggie opener is unique. This may just be a collection restraint. There's, you know, sometimes you gotta work with what you got. But yeah, I am curious about whether this map is a problem. There is a level, as we saw in the earlier, the literally just previous Alien Engineer game of, look, it's Alien Engineer, and they're going to make everything look like, oh my god, this thing is broken. But this map, based on what we've seen, has been heavily Player 1 favored. Is that true long-term? We'll see. I mean, we all thought that for Phobos, where it was just like, well, Player 2 can't do anything, and then every time we loaded in, Player 2 was winning. Now, the opposite has kind of been true for this map, where people were saying that it was Player 1 favored, and it was bearing out that it was Player 1 favored. I don't know if that counts really as the full opposite, but you get the idea. Our orange player actually offering up the potato here to get bitten by the spider. That feels like a weird children's book, doesn't it? It's like the story of the spider-bitten potato. Actually, that sounds like a Who's Afraid of the Dark story. If anybody remembers that. So this one, way less aggressive. And I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Killer Ox is at a collection disadvantage, we'll say. We saw a Maggie opener, and now we're seeing a baby Snaky. Phobies that you just don't typically see. Maggie has way more play than baby Snaky, and that's saying something because Maggie just does not commonly see play. This also is kind of rare to get this break, but it did allow for the snipe on the Maggie. Is that worth it? I don't know if that was worth it. I guess it was fine. It does kind of scream, I feel very, very confident. I being Shinra here. Pterodactyl. Definitely one of my favorite phobies, but man, Resurrect is just not good. It's just... It has a very niche use of, okay, late in the game, it makes my opponent's life even more complex to try and remove things, but it's just not powerful enough to truly matter 9 times out of 10. And I do wonder if it is a... I'm kind of the opinion that it's a mechanic that if it were better, generally speaking, earlier in the game, that sort of thing, it would be oppressive. Because in order for it to be that good, I'm not sure exactly how we would rework it to make that happen. But in order for that to happen, I think that it would require some really awkward things. Oh, we get the creep spit. You do get panic point advantage orange. Wait, we're diving this? Oh, no. That's probably a dead potato. I don't think Gonzo's back up, but Shinra has 20 keys available, pulling a little alien engineer themselves. This, we're lamenting the first player advantage here, but I think the collection disparity is both apparent and problematic for our orange player here. It's not even that Shinra, our blue player, is dropping like a whole bunch of powerful ultra rares or something on the board. It's just, these are just better phobies than showing up over here. Like, Ray is an okay counter. Pterodactyl's not great. The Spud was suspect. The Maggie was questionable. The baby Snaky is... Baby Snaky is doo-doo. We do get a displacement effect as we're nearing, like, the 3/4 point. Almost. Is this thing dead? Okay. It's not dead. It's just gonna get slapped around. Slap! Notably, Cyclops showing up. A marking, I guess, inspiring Shinra here. Cyclops, I think, is underrated. So I think this is the bait turn. Shinra is just saying, come at me, bro. And we will see if our orange player does, in fact, come at them, bro. That's not a great spider yoink. I mean, yes, it yielded a takedown, but, like, you don't love that. Now, honestly, well, no. I was going to say, this doesn't look terrible, but I imagine this Blinky might be able to solo this Klepto. I think Klepto has 1,600 health, which means that this should die. Yeah. Combination of these three should take down Baby Snaky. They're safely out of position, so Gonzo can now slide up. Oh, you need a jar, too. All right. It does put the Cyclops in range of the Pterodactyl, but now we get the follow-up Jin Sting. This is very much a Alien Engineer-esque play where... okay, here I still have this many. Big panic point advantage, though. Big panic point advantage. Boom. Absolutely wanted to kill that with the boom. There's no reason to take the damage on the Moly Bully there, because the Moly Bully is now just exposed and gonna die. Don't love the Ray Chargels thing either. Now, honestly, Shinra, despite kind of being in the driver's seat for all of this, is down to, like... Well, first of all, the Survive at 350 health. Why it looks like its health bar is empty is beyond me. Down to 2,800 health. Playing the control game. Obviously, they don't win this turn, but it's clearly pretty close. To a W, I mean. Spider goes down. Stem the bleeding. Did the Hevo not attack? Or did it attack? It must have attacked the Moly. Do have the body block here to make sure that you can't get in on the heart. Obviously very important. It's entirely possible Shinra could have lost this game. 1,900 health? 1,700? I guess not. I guess not. Wasn't actually as close as I thought it might have been. And that's all she wrote. GG. GG. All right, so we're looking at Shinra, sticking with their profile for now. We got Shinra Potenza here. We'll see what happens in this one. Maybe my prediction for the previous one being one of the more interesting games, because I ran through all of them to try and pull the stats real quick. So I must have had them confused. That one was kind of by the book. It did look a little tight for Shinra towards the end, but ultimately there wasn't really much our other player could do in that previous game. Certainly not much more they could do. With a slightly better Phobies selection, maybe. But that's water under the bridge at this point. Now, notably, Shinra just sprints the unicorn back here. I'm not sure why. Like, you could have put a unicorn trap on the center tile, and it would have been fine. You would have taken one hit from the corn, or the bow mangles onto the corn. I don't know how much that matters, but we are splitting panic points here. All right, Bo Mangles is going for a ride up on the top set of conveyor belts. This is a very odd map, and like I said earlier, a lot of players chose this. Ooh, the Gravedigger setup. I kind of like this. It does free up an option for the corn to just get in there. And this is going to be important for removing the boomer without having to jump through an enormous amount of hoops. Because then you get double corn hits, Contortio hit, probably kills the boomer, and then you reclaim the point without having to, like, slide your whole team around, offer up more than you need to, that sort of thing. You could, of course, also do it with cat, but whatever. Excuse me. So here's where the weirdness starts. We got a little Steve's action. Everybody's favorite walrus. So Stabby's beating feet to get back, and here's possibly the real issue is Repeller. I didn't like Repeller for a long time pre-balance patch because, I mean, it was fine. It had its uses, but for the most part, things like Boss Gonzo kind of kept it in check because it is so fragile. And honestly, I'm still of the opinion that Attractor and Repeller should probably switch HP. But I think all of them could probably use a tweak downward. But regardless, we get the Repeller mirror here, along with a whole lot of traps. Steve's and Heartbreaker seem good on this map. Any displacement does. I'm assuming you don't mean in the same game, because that's 14 keys right there. That's a lot. I mean, Heartbreaker probably would be pretty good on this map. This map is just incredibly strange. As we talked about earlier, Rusty was showing up a lot on this map, and I think Rusty has a lot of value here, potentially. Not just for the lol... Oh, by the way, Shove Shark, pointing it out. Not just for the lol, oh, I locked your guy in, so I was able to drop it into the pit. It's also just, I locked your guy in, and now it's going to get delivered to me on a silver platter to annihilate. Heartbreaker, I don't know, but trap phobies are pretty good here. Yeah, any small map traps seem to do pretty well on, because obviously it's a much more constricted space. You have to jump... Yeah, not jump through more hoops, although that's probably true. Jumping in and out of the traps. But you have to go to much greater lengths to avoid the traps. It's time for the good boy. That's a good boy fast track to your heart. I mean... Good boys are always fast track to your heart, aren't they, chat? So Potenzia sniffing out the trap in the north. No dog puns here, chat. I mean, I think it's probably a safe bet that there would be a trap up there because the play is just like... It's just too spicy, too juicy to let that one not happen, right? So we do get the boop here, pushing it back onto the conveyor tile, pushing it one step closer. The Repeller might be live. Repeller is live. And this means that literally 100% of Shinra's team gets hit here. I don't think the Cerberus can die. Like I said, I went through these games real quick, so I remember some of the things that happened, but not everything. Notably, Potenzia is too terrified to engage things, and instead chooses to run the Stabby. Just beating feet out of there. Also, I don't love the Pterodactyl. I don't know what the purpose of that was. That's 3 Steve's traps. If your opponent is able to get 3 Steve's traps on the board, you are not generally in a good spot. I know, this is like revelations from God. Like, that, how could anyone know that? But, like, it's not good if your opponent can get 3 Steve's traps. Pterodactyl sniping the enemy Repeller notably. 0 keys to 1. Tickle's gonna be on cleanup duty. Gonna get 1 trap. You're gonna get 1 trap unless Shinra really decides to go after it for some reason. Okay, they're going after it. Nope, you're not eating my traps. Heartbreaker can place 1 tile away from the pit and in the pit on this map. Yes. So, like, a Heartbreaker from a pretty safe position could hit the Potenzia's Repeller right now and then drop it on the conveyor tile to then immediately go in the pit. Like, that's not an unreasonable play. So we get the freeze on Stabby. We get the relentless march that is Cerberus. Steve's leech and health now on Repeller's doorstep. I told you some of these games are weird, chat. I may have chosen the wrong ones at a point in time. Full health Repeller, but that Steve's is leeching, and oh, by the way, Cerberus is hungry. Num 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 num. Got him. Cerberus and Steve's versus Pterodactyl with a 4 panic point advantage for our Cerberus player. See, the good boys always get your heart. It's true. But in this case, they might also get your phobies. GG. Got him. Yeah, some of these games were weird. Some of these games was weird. All right, chat. We might be able to squeeze in one more before I start the next event. How many games did you play today? Holy shit. All right, so one more on Never Forever. This is Master Dark versus Potenzia. This is Master Dark versus Potenzia. And we shall see. Oh, by the way, Shove Shark in the last game. Big L. Holding that L. Go have some water. Definitely need some water. I don't think I'm going to have time to refill it before we start the next event, though. When Master Dark doing what Master Dark does, dropping a ice cream on the board early. We did talk about this in the map breakdown, which, in retrospect, again, I'm going to have to go find it because I forgot to pull the video. And, well, we did it on stream, and then I just never put it on YouTube, which doesn't really help me. Wasn't that other Alien Engineer versus Gao on Never Forever in the other event? Possibly, yeah. That may be true, DT. Like I said, it got chosen a lot. Like, a lot. I'm very curious to see if people take it as much tonight. What we'll probably do once we observe, like, we'll observe some games, and then once it's over, we'll pull the stats. Unless it gets really late, and maybe I'll do it tomorrow. Surprised there hasn't been any Finnegan Slammerhead played on this map. I don't think it's very likely for you to get those setups, because you have to overextend so far. Certainly, it would have to be Finnegan, not Slammerhead, just because of the key cost investment. Like, you're only going to get one boop, and then it's going to die. Even Slammerhead. Your opponent will have to commit. So, like, you could follow it up and, like, just shove with your whole team. But I think that's too much of a key investment. You'd rather invest it elsewhere. Plus, in most scenarios, you'd rather have Repeller. Repeller is just those phobies, but better. Yeah, it costs more, but it's also a 3-ranger and a multi-boop. So it's much more likely to get what you want. Now, I said this before. Master Dark loves to argue with me about it. Temptress is not good. I mean, just to boop it onto a conveyor tile. Yeah, but, like, that doesn't do anything unless it yields a kill. Like, that slight displacement is generally not good enough. It's annoying, don't get me wrong. Like, you could certainly annoy your opponent by... You boop it onto a conveyor tile, now it's overextended, so they gotta spend a turn pulling it back or something. But, like, it's just not worth it. It's generally not worth it. So we'll see if Ice Cream can actually do a damn thing here, but my my initial guess is no. I'm pretty sure it's going to die here, right? Oh, didn't die. But Potentia utilizing Boomer here to stop the conveyor belt. Everybody's squishing up at the top. Electric Cat's actually going to go down. Are we going to get the freeze? We get the freeze on Shove Shark. And we get the Raucous out of our orange player. Mr. Tramples. I'm not going to lie, I don't understand this one. We have seen Mr. Tramples show up a fair amount lately, and it has done some cool things. I don't know if here is what we want. Sorry, I'm late. You don't ever have to be sorry. No one's obligated to show up to my stream or watch my videos or anything. Nobody should ever feel bad for any of those things. Like, that's ridiculous. Don't be ridiculous. Ice Cream just hanging out on these conveyor belts almost perpetually. I want to know who on the dev team decided that, or on the art team decided that Ice Cream was only going to have one leg. Like, why does it only have one leg? Why is it a pogo stick? I'm obligated. Kablamo! Mr. Trample's going in deep! Doesn't matter. We'll learn today. This doesn't look great for Potentia. This looks like you're going to have only Mr. Tramples left. That certainly looks like... Wait. Okay, maybe you needed to do that. I was going to say, like... I thought the Ice Cream was going to hit the Shove Shark, but I guess... Like, it's 6 and 1/2 does the other. Maybe the same reason it only has one eye. Yeah, but it clearly had 2 eyes at one point in time. Because you can see, like, the hole where the other eye would be. So, okay, it took battle damage or whatever. But it looks like it was only ever designed to have one leg. It doesn't look like it ever was supposed to have 2. So, it was intended to have one leg in the Phobies universe. Potentia possibly throwing in the towel here with that bad sushi. I don't know if that's a... I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's not a serious play. I feel like this was a you got me sort of thing. That being said, there's still a lot of stuff here. There's some threatening stuff. Get the freeze here. I think we're going to see a Klepto move in order to take out, or possibly take out the shark. No, it doesn't kill the shark, notably. You don't have a bull rush play here. I can't believe we just watched a freeze go down on a freaking bad sushi. Look at this. This should be the thumbnail. I should just crop this area in the center and put a spotlight on it. Because this will never be seen again. Well, until they buff Bad Sushi, which we know is coming. The frozen fish sticks. Raucous with the double kill. Dude, look at this. Would you look at this? Pour one out for Bad Sushi. Pour one out for Bad Sushi. Dial also seems very good on this map, so it makes it easier for some to go into the pits of despair. True. True. Look, I mean, I don't know for certain whether Potentia was just like, okay, I've lost this game, so I'm not going to surrender, but I'm surrendering by putting Bad Sushi on the board, or if they thought, now that's a thumbnail, what, if dropping into the pit? I don't know if they thought Bad Sushi was, like, a play. Maybe they thought they were so far ahead that, like, oh, I can Bad Sushi and I still can't lose. I don't know. But didn't work. All right, so we're on Rush Hour for some godforsaken reason. This was, I believe, A. Markin's map pick. A. Markin? Yeah, A. Markin picked Rush Hour. Because A. Markin hates fun, apparently. A. Markin is the fun police. Or something. I don't know. This... Ooh, no. Oh, no. So the reason I chose this game is... Obviously, we have A. Markin, a stalwart, a regular in these events, both Monster of the Week and Fright Night. A Fright Night champion in their own right, has won Monster of the Week in the past. But we also have a newcomer in PVZ here, and let's see what they've got. Now, I cringed a little bit because I'm pretty sure this is a dead Maggie. Like, this plus a Snowball is a dead Maggie? Jar won't get it, but Snowball will. And also, as evidenced by the opener, my guess is PVZ is on the, say, lower stress end. Yeah, gonna learn real quick. That's a tough lesson to learn. That's a painful lesson to learn. So here's the question, chat. Has anybody opened blue on this map? I don't think anybody... Wait. I guess this is okay. I don't love this. This is absolutely different from what we typically see on this map, which also, speaking of things we see on this map, can I repeat once again, why is it so orange? It's like almost painful to look at. It's like glaring. Quite literally. All right, so it looks like A. Markin is claiming a panic point advantage temporary visualization of hell. I mean, yes, I do wonder if there's like multiple layers of that, of, well, it's supposed to look like hell and being stuck in Rush Hour is hell, and like they all combine together into some silly play on words. All right, so we get the, I don't want to call it the heebie-jeebies battle, but like, ooh, I was going to say the original, like, heebie-jeebies fight between these two, because for a long time, I was a proponent of this, too. I would always say, like, oh, well, Stabby is, or, excuse me, Unbearable is a counter to Stabby. But, is it really? We're going to find out, because Attractor, now, A. Markin went for Big Ol' Walrus Boy here, and has been one of the largest detractors of allowing Attractor in events, because and they're not the only one. I'm not calling them out specifically to be like, hey, this guy hates Attractor. But we are going to get an Attractor standoff here. Now, of course, our orange player here is down 2 keys due to the initial sacrifice of Maggie. What? This is just dead, isn't it? It's going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's... Ooh, we get a Shove Shark Attractor play. All right, so the reason I think this is just dead is you can go... what's it called? Gravedigger. And then pull, attack, double attack, attack, and that should be enough damage. 370, that's 6, 12, 15. It might not be. It might not be, but you could also finish it off with, like, a creep. Okay, so we're just going for the poke. I don't... you only need 3 damage, so there's a lot of ways to do this. Gravedigger dance and Dino. Dino dance. Alright, so we're cooking... you know, I'll be honest. I think strategically, PVZ had some ideas here. I think PVZ strategically had some ideas. The Shove Shark Attractor setup, the Unbearable, honestly, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. I do hate the Maggie. Obviously, I hate the sacrifices here with these other phobies. Not where you want to be, right? That's just donating 5 keys. That's a Blasto. You know, Blasto Shove Shark synergy seems okay. Wait. No, that wouldn't have worked. I don't think you shove this turn. Do you? Maybe you do. Regardless, like, the combination of these three is a pretty decent setup on this map or any other, where this could allow you to snipe something, namely your opponent's attractor. So we'll see if this can pull our orange player out of the hole they dug for themselves. That hole is getting deeper by the turn. I love the lava effect, chat. Just visually, I love the lava effect. It just looks so cool. It looks hot. Alright, so we're going to get the quick poke at the cat. Why? That can't be right. It's kind of odd that my ultra rares are higher level than my other rarity phobies. Maybe. I mean, there are things that can get, like... I could see that happening, Steven. Like, it is a little weird, but I could see that. Oh, excuse me. I don't love this play. Like, hitting the cat with the Blasto. I get wanting to get it into range, but now, like... So you move the stabby. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So it's Fireball, Lava, Stabby hit, 2 Evo hits, this pull. That's probably not enough, right? What are you at? 27? So that's 7, 1,000, 13, or 17? Yeah, I don't... Ooh, okay, okay, okay. Let him cook. I mean, it depends on how you want to use that phrase, because, I mean, PvZ is getting cooked, and we're letting Blasto cook. This is weird. So, like... Wait, what? Okay, so I think that was lethal. Did they attack with both Hevos? Both Hevo attacks? Because remember, the lava's there. If they didn't attack with the Hevos, which I don't think they did, that would have been another 700 damage. Wait, Sparky? I don't know about this one. The counter shove shark. Put him up. Put him on the board. 2 more tractors. There's going to be a 500 here. Honestly, I don't see how else... Like, this... Maybe not the Blasto and the Sparky and whatever. But forever now, this will be an attractor shove shark map, right? Like, that is what's going to happen on this map. And this discussion came up the other day in Discord that, like... Wait, what? That can't be right. Yes, exactly. Like, no! I guess that's fine. All right, yeah, that's probably better. That's probably better. Okay, I was, like, so hyper-focused on the Blom play, but that's probably... This is safer. This is safer. And the boss... Look, those 5 keys... Nothing. They mean nothing. That's a muff. Oh my god. I think A-Mark, like, they're definitely in trouble. Did PvZ take over this game? Because, like, you're going to get the double Sparky hit, but that's 16. Got to find another 9. 1, 2, 3. You can't connect with this. This is not... And you can't connect with it. You can't kill this Blasto right now. It's literally not possible. So I think you have to kill this and then play for a longer game. Oh, wait, no, the lava. Can you get it with the lava? No, because you only get a hit from this. Because of where the Sparky's positioned, you can't get another connection. Okay, fireballs. Yeah, I guess that's fine, because, like... So, you don't use the fireball here because you don't need it, and there's a snowball's chance. There's a snowball's chance in hell. Get it? Because we're in hell right now. We're on rush hour. God save us all. There's a snowball's chance in hell that this thing actually survives to the next turn. So, you save the snowball. Stop. I'm glad chat liked that one. I'm glad chat liked that one. Oh, man. Stare. Yeah, I don't have the, I don't have emotes that's Stare Master. Alright. Letting boss cook. We're letting boss cook. That's a double hit. Man, this Blasto is just like, I don't care. Blasto loves being at the beach. Honestly, chat, this game has been way more eventful than I thought it was going to be. I thought this was just going to, like, they were going to stare at each other for, like, 45 turns each, and we were going to have an Agora match. But instead, we got a game on our hands. We got a game on our hands. Do I have better TTV enabled? No. Although, I don't know, like... I don't think it shows for anybody but the person using it. Yeah, Blasto's getting the crap knocked out of him. This is probably a dead boss, because remember, Fireball's still available. Walrus is getting exposed, but there's no keys left for either player, by the way. I don't know if people noticed that. There are 0 keys remaining. Boss is going to die to, well, not its own fire, but the snowball's fire, technically. Fried spider no more. It's for the streamer? Yeah, but like, so if I enable it and someone else doesn't have that extension enabled, will they see the emotes or do they just see the text for the emote? Because, like, I don't care if I see other people's emotes. Noxious going in. Noxious going in. Honestly, this is a game that we can say was 100% decided by Shove Shark and Attractor. I mean, there's just no... You can't... Or are we going to say this was... It was the Maggie bait on turn 1. Oh my god. Would you look at this Shove Shark? Oh, I guess the damage is not there. Well, you can still get it. Yeah, you do this, you shove, you double hit. And honestly, A Market might be cooked. A Market might be cooked. We're gonna get the boom detonation. Panic point advantage is still in A Market's favor. I really want to see... Yo, I want to see a Walrus Heart Rush. Are we going to get the Walrus Heart Push? Because that would be sick. It would make no sense whatsoever. Alright. Detonation from Z-Boom. Blasto's been burning ever since it was put on the board. Yeah, it was accelerated towards the lava and then has been sitting on the lava cooking since. This game, oh my god, like this, I'm glad we didn't miss this. This was way more involved and engaging than I thought it was going to be. All right, Blasto finally put out of its misery. Honestly, I think you yoink as A Markand here. I don't know who you yoink, but you yoink one of them. If nothing else, it makes the retreat more awkward for the Noxious. I think killing the Blasto is the priority, though. This is probably fine. This is fine. You're not wrong, Gravedigger. You're not wrong. Yo, this game was ridiculous. This is the kind of Phobies game that should happen. GG, well played. Oh my god. And here we are, A-Mark and Alien Engineer. After that wild game, this was Alien Engineer's map choice. A-Mark chose to go first. I want to see what Alien Engineer's cooking here. I do wonder, I would have to go through... Like, these are the kind of things that it's just super tedious to track manually. And it would be, maybe I need to conscript people in chat or in Discord to help me out. To track numbers, like, what is Alien Engineer, like, how often did Alien Engineer win the coin flip? How often did they choose the map versus choosing to go first or second? When they chose the map, how often did they pick certain maps? Is there a tendency to pick large maps? Is there a tendency to pick small maps? And then, like, trying to figure those things out, I think would be very interesting to know statistically. But it is just an enormous amount of effort to collate because there is no automated fashion to do it from my end of things. I'm sure the devs can, and I think that would be pretty cool. They wouldn't be able to find out, like, the pick rates, but... we could then figure out, like, okay, well, how often does Alien Engineer play on this map, at the very least, and then correlate certain phobies to it. So there's a different set of statistics that the devs would be able to determine much more easily than I would. That's why I'd originally tried to program the bot to incorporate that stuff, and then the bot service no longer was free, so womp womp. But in the meantime, we're getting Charon, which honestly doesn't, you know, Charon doesn't seem bad on this map. Alien Engineer going with the Quagmire. I do like that. It's obviously very safe here. Sure, you can damage it, but who cares? You're not going to kill it. In the meantime, we are getting a 3-2 panic point advantage for A-Markin. Ye old snot monster. Evo is the follow-up. A-Markin not interested in banking. A-Markin, of course, running up against Alien Engineer on many occasions, but not on this map. This map has recently come back into rotation, and honestly, it seems as though a lot of the community is not a huge fan of it. I personally like this map. I like this map. I probably wouldn't... Ooh, Chad, we're getting it. Getting a Charon stare down? All right. You got to be honest with me, chat. How many of you had that on your bingo card for this matchup? Don't cheat and say you knew because they were on Magnificent. Don't cheat and say that. Because you know you didn't know. All right, so we're going to turn off the bottom panic point. That positioning seems fine for the Hevo. The Cat and Charon can both help supplement if Alien Engineer tries to get curious with their Charon. And of course, now the Snowball is also a threat. Or 7. How much health does this have? So the combination of these will kill the Snowball. There isn't really a great advance for Alien Engineer unless they hard commit. So they could, like, put Quagmire here. It's going to heal to 22. And it might survive all of this. Like a cat hit, a fireball, double hit. And then nothing else can follow up. So this is what? 7. And 7 is 14. 18. 19, 20, 21. It would just survive. So if you shove as Alien Engineer with all the follow-up, some interesting things could happen here. My bingo card had Alien winning and A-Markin playing Hevo and a Tractor, and also Alien using Cupcake. Fair. Those seem like Pretty reasonable predictions. All right, so this is kind of what I expected to happen. We're going to get a little more Charon poop spread all over. Just smearing it everywhere. Innocuous. A Markand with 7 keys. Notably, they're ahead in the key count right now. 22 total, whereas Alien Engineer has a meager, a paltry 21 keys. I never noticed that the poop swirls. Have I noticed that? I don't know. Like, if you watch it, there's like a swirling motion on this. Or at least it's sliding. All right, we got a big debate here from Alien Engineer trying to figure out what they want to do. Shout out to everybody in chat. See a lot more people hanging out now. Just in time for the show match. The highlight prize fight. My bingo card only had a free space. Womp wah. Does that mean you automatically win, or does that mean you can't win? This, I was about to say, you're not leaving that there, are you? Because that would be incredibly aggressive. Wait, what? I don't think this can die. But you're probably not going to be very happy about it. I don't know if I love this. 4, 8. Actually, that's 7,000, 1,400. I don't think you have enough damage to punish this as a Markand. And I feel like you still want to poop on that one lava tile so that way you could put the Bowmangles there. I mean, I guess this works. But you can't move the... Yeah, like... No, I don't like this. Because now this is exposed to the Innocuous right now. Like, you can just pummel the bow. Although, I guess this means this is 740 or 840. So this threatens the Innocuous. So it has to be body blocked to be protected, or you have to kill the bow. Which, honestly, this just feels like a mistake, right? What is Aliens, or what is A Markand cooking here? Because that just feels like an error. Like, you just lose the bow for no reason. I feel like you would have been better off with one of the earlier plays that A Markand had tried, where, like, he poops on the lava tile, puts, say, the Bowmangles there, still sets up the Charon, Hevo, Bowmangles triangle, but you have the bow behind where the Hevo and Charon are now. Because, like, this means that it just kind of feels like A Markand has to back off here. You can get a Jar to immediately start threatening things, but Jar is the only thing that'll reach, and when I say you have to back off, you have to, like, hard retreat here. This panic point, yeah, I was about to say, this panic point's going to come back online. Admittedly, so will the middle one soon, but the Quagmire's there. Like, yeah, you can take a parting shot. You're going to kill the... I guess you trade Bowmangles for the Gravedigger here. That's not bad. So it isn't a complete loss, because you'll have to Fireball here. I don't think you want to put anything up. Wait, what? Wait, you're going to cook it. What? Okay. You know what? You could snipe the... if you kill both the Snowball and the Gravedigger... Yeah, so this goes down. You hit this with Hevo. I don't know how many things they've undone, but, like, you hit this with Hevo, and then you Jar. What is the Hevo doing? The Hevo didn't attack twice, did it? Okay, I was gonna say. I feel like the Hevo should pull back to behind the Charon, though. Does that matter? I don't know if it really matters. Maybe it doesn't matter. This is probably better positioning because it does give it the option to move to the top if it has to. I do like having the cat closer to the middle panic point because having it at the top to threaten the top center means nothing. You're never going to kill this Quagmire with 2 hits from a cat and Hebo, obviously. So this is a push from Alien Engineer. This isn't dead, is it? Oh my god, it's dead. Whoa. That's dead and... Oof. Alright, so you can probably get Quagmire, but that's going to require basically everything. And you're going to be clustered for this follow-up Noxious, and the Innocuous is basically safe. You don't have any way to get at it unless you can somehow clear both of these out without using Jar or this, and even now you can't because this is body blocking it. I was going to say you send Snowball across the top and then Jar hits it, but you can't even do that because Fireball's down. 10 keys remaining to 11. Alien Engineer taking the key count lead. Alright, so it looks like we're just going to take the Quagmire kill. Honestly, I think it would have been kind of cool if Alien Engineer tried to set up a Kaboom. So, like, what if they went Shove Shark Kaboom instead? Did they have enough keys to do that? They should have. They go Shove Shark Kaboom and then just push the Kaboom in and A-Markin's just dead, right? They'd have to once again full hard retreat. You could put a 2-range 5-key here. You could do this. This works too, but you need more damage. I guess you could Evo it. Yep. That's 6 keys. Did they only have 5 at the time? I don't remember how many they had on that turn. I mean, I guess they used all of them, and I think they went Cat, Creep, Cassowary, so that would only be 5. I mean, you could go Kerbloom instead. That's probably enough damage. I don't know if it has to be Kaboom, but... Charon rowboating out of there. Creep did connect here. Poor Charon can never go to the spa. It's a tough life. Get the heal. Innocuous back up to full strength. Notably, A-Market has had a panic point advantage this whole time. It's only been a Phobie fight, and it's a 1-key difference between these players. It's like we started the game at the beginning. You could argue that Alien Engineer is up 2 keys, because you're probably going to have to put a Muffin on the board, or possibly even a Clinico, which would kind of suck. But neither player went Shove Shark thus far. Neither player has gone Attractor thus far. However, that has to be in the back of A-Markin's mind, that an Attractor play from Alien Engineer is possible, because the key counts are getting low, and you don't really have the team to fight an Attractor if you're A-Markin. That Jar is just dead. All right, so we're getting the big wall. We're actually going to go Clinico here. So this gives Alien Engineer kind of a big opening with 7 keys available to decide what are they going to try and close this game out with. A-Markin's team still has they're going to have room because that cat's going to die. Unless a alien engineer tries to go for a trap play, not like trap the mechanic, but like trap them into being unable to use their keys. Since both players have access to Clinico, there is a chance that this is going to extend, being, you know, they'll poke at each other. The Hematic Gin Sting is a big deal, because ultimately, Alien Engineer does have much more burst potential than a Markin does. The reality is that there are 2 1-movers on a Markin side. There's only 1 on Alien Engineer's side. And the other phobies that a Markin has access to right now just aren't that threatening. The Hevo, the Charon, even the Stabby, because Stabby's a 1-mover, it's just going to be very difficult to get it to interact with anything. But for now, Alien Engineer is going to take that 4-to-1 panic point advantage. And Charon's not in position to really turn anything off. Now, you're probably going to see Hevo slide up to the north, because otherwise this cat swings in and it's a 5-to-0 panic point advantage. And that is just going to shred the hard health for a Markin. Our blue player is going to be in a lot of trouble. There's a scratch in my hand or something, Chad. It feels weird. Yep. So we get the Hevo sliding up to the north. Charon's positioning to probably poop on this panic point. The problem is does this invade kill it? This is 3. That's, we'll say 8. That's 850. 1250. That wouldn't have been able to reach. So it wouldn't have killed it. It just... Ooh, we get a dial. The final phobie for a Markand is dial. Final phobie for a Markand is dial. The Alien Engineer still with 4 keys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maxed out on phobies, so we're not going to see what their final or last few phobies are for a little bit. I'm not sure where the dial's going to connect. It's possible Charon poops on this lava tile. Nope. Never mind. Charon could set up some lava tile extensions. That way, Dial has the red carpet, or the the poop carpet rolled out for them. That's awful. That would be awful, right? I don't know why I said right, because it clearly is. I'm not looking for affirmation of that sentence. I already know what the answer is. Markin's probably just waiting around for the Clinico cooldown to go off, so that way they can set something up there. There is the potential for bees. The cassowary is out of range of everything but the stabby, so this seems relatively safe. You get 5, you get 9, you get 1250. Would you rather walk on a lava carpet or a poop carpet? Well, I think once the lava cools, does it still count as lava? Because then it's lava rocks. Because that probably isn't too difficult to walk over. Whereas that poop carpet, it doesn't matter. It's going to follow you. That's sticking with you. I'm not a geologist or a rockologist, as the internet may call them. So I don't know if it still counts as lava after it has cooled. Or does it technically become something else? It's a sticky situation. Sticky situation. I like to play on words. Words are fun sometimes. And like my eyes just kind of, auto-corrected. We'll put it that way. All right, so A Markin, I don't know how they advance here. Alien Engineer, of course. Alien Engineer's in the position of just don't lose the game. Not only do you win the game from this position, you you probably win the game in short order from this position. A 4-1 panic point advantage is a powerful one. I don't love this play from A. Markin, but I mean, realistically, what else are you going to do? That's a dead dial, isn't it? No, it lives by 50 health. It requires the Innoculus. The thing is that this Hevo's dead. So this is double hit. El Magino? Mageno? I don't know how to pronounce your name, but welcome. Yeah, I don't love that sequence because, like, the Hevo's dead. You're going to get double hits from this, possibly a hit from this and this. Like, it's just not going to end well. Full health or not, that Hevo's dead. I think A. Markin does have the right idea here, though. You kind of need to slide to the top and then try and isolate part of Alien Engineer's team. You got to use the terrain in order to set something up. But, like, right now, 3,400 health, you got to do it either this turn or next turn. If you don't thread that needle, the game is just over. You're just taking too much damage. And to be honest, if you go north, like I kind of want to see, you open up the opportunity for a heart push where they may be able to just burn you down. That can't... Really? Yeah, I was going to say, I think you have to kill the cat. Because the cat getting free damage like that just seems ridiculous. Wait, you're hitting the Hevo? I think you just accept some... Well, you can't... The Stabby's already damaged. You're in... This is just really tough for A. Markin. I don't really know how you resolve this. This is dead, or this is dead. I don't think Alien Engineer has enough damage to kill both. I think you kind of have to accept the damage on the Stabby. I think you put it on the lava. Because otherwise, it's just not going to be able to be in position. It's going to end up on the lava anyway in order to interact, because Alien Engineer is going to swing over the top to the north. So Bees is going to take down the jar. Looks like we're going to snipe the Innoculus. This looks like the beginning of the end. You can take down this on the counterattack, but you don't... Do you have the damage to kill the Innoculus? Possibly. Yeah, Clinico plus Hevo kills Innoculus. But that's not enough. You can't kill the Gin Sting and the Innoculus. No, that's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. Alright, so we get the power down here. Get the power down here. Cassowary takedown. I mean, the dial might do it. This is dead. This is dead. And then it's dial Charon Evo? Or Stabby Evo dial, rather? I think Charon and Clinico bite the dust. Obviously Clinico, that's trivial. 2k health left on the heart, by the way. Alright, so the selection is dial. Leaving the 3 main? Well, no, 2. This is not A. Markin's Charon. This is just game, right? Like, eventually this Clopster just goes hard. Yeah, GG. GG! Well played. Alright, chat. We will look at the other games. The other one looks like it's still going. Oh, no, that's A. Markin. All right, chat, we're back. So we'll take a look at those other games. Doesn't look like we're going to be spreading any managed democracy tonight. This will be a much longer Monster of the Week video than normal. All right, so we want to look at bracket. Let's see. So we want to see Alien Engineer versus Shinra, and then Shinra versus PVZ. We'll look at we'll finish up with PVZ. So let's look at Alien Engineers. Gotta be this, yeah. All right, so we're looking at some of the other games from the event. Here we got Shinra and Alien Engineer. Now, of course, because this was going on while we were casting the other games, couldn't watch it live, so we're going to be taking a peek at this one. As it started, it's actually already over, Coro. We're rolling back to look at some of the games that we didn't get to observe. There was a wild one that you missed. You may want to catch the VOD for that one, or check it out on YouTube. Help me out with those numbers. An extra view here and there helps. I don't know whose map pick this was. But Alien Engineer... Did we see... Yeah, we saw some other Alien Engineer games on this map. And I think they also did Bow. I think they were going second on this map every time. So this is another scenario where I'd love to see the stats, but I'm going to have to go back and do this by hand. Which is naturally a pain in the neck. But we do get a Gravedigger that has not made a ton of appearances on this map up to this point. Shinra with the Walrus. Okay, so was it Shinra that we saw earlier with Steve Cerberus? Or was it Master Dark? I don't remember which one it was. I think it was Master Dark. I could be wrong, though. So where are we going to get the trap? Are we going to get a trap? Honestly, I think, yeah, move here and then place a trap. Probably where the obstacle was. Or in front of the Gravedigger. Oh, yeah, we're watching this from under Alien Engineer's profile, so you can't see the trap. Alien Engineer, I guess, been watching some Master Dark games. I think it was Shinra and Master Dark use Ice Cream. Master Dark did use Ice Cream, so yes. That is correct. I believe that's correct. We could, of course, roll back and watch. Both players banking up. Alien Engineer with a slight 2-key lead. So this is interesting because we're getting into this stalemate, but there's not a lot of room to hide. It is very difficult to try and hide on this map, but this feels like an Alien Engineer setup is coming, where you could, as Alien Engineer, just exchange keys and then set up a tractor play. But here's the thing. Alien Engineer is letting this Walrus run rampant. I don't know what that was. I wonder if Shinra ran out of time on that turn, but we're going boss. The Russell! Oh my god! So one of the games earlier today, I distinctly recall seeing someone say, hey, I've never faced Russell before. And I'm pretty sure it was an Alien Engineer game, so I think Alien Engineer is cooking people with Russell. Shinra sees the writing on the wall and is getting as aggro as they possibly can. The irony here is I do wonder... There was no way to pull this off, but it would have been interesting to like find a way to get fire under the boss so that it thaws. Because right now you can't thaw the boss. So I assume we're going to see Ice Cream freezing boss. We got double undead and dimensional here, so not a lot of healing available, period. And Alien Engineer still has 6 keys. Down goes Gravedigger. So there's 1 undead on the board. Correction. Breaking news. Gravedigger goes down. Alright, looks like Bo is the target of choice. Like, it is possible to get a, Really? We're gonna heal the horn? I guess. Wait, does this get cooked? Minotaur! What is... Okay, so Ice Cream got cooked! Still 6 keys, though. If the boss dies, which I imagine it will... Like, there's no way this boss survives, right? Wait, what? Minotaur stare down? Ooh, the double trap hit. I mean, it was going to happen. Huge respect to Match Minotaur. Yeah, that's just like, I see you, your Minotaur. I raise you a Minotaur and a stabby. Slap. The double kill! Oh my god. All right, so Muffin was not for the corn. It was obviously for the boss. Like, I don't know why I didn't think of that, but like... I even got distracted. I forgot Muffin was even on there. So, boss thawed, chat. Minotaur is going to go in for the AoE. Is this enough damage to kill boss? This might be enough damage to kill boss. Oh my god. Are you serious with this? Is this real? Wait, what? Okay, I guess the stabby probably represented more damage. But that's too... Oh my god, like, look at this. Can you believe the ending to this game, chat? Don't worry, a tractor's the problem. GG. Alright, so one of the other matches that we missed, PVZ, our newcomer, going up against one of the old guard in Shinra. We're here on Transaction Declined. I'm not sure whose map choice this was. I could go look, but I'm not going to. We're gonna just play it out. We're gonna let it ride, chat. Let it ride. So, we got a little Bo Mangles. Little Bo Mangly action. Yo, where are my sucky enjoyers in chat? I know we got a few. I know there's a few out there. But we get a sucky opener. It's a choice that can be made. It is a choice that can be made. I swear, for a second, I thought that was going to go after the Bo Mangles, and I'm like, that's not a good choice. This is also not a good choice if you don't kill the Stickles. I mean, I kind of get what they're going for here, because they could shove the bloat right into the, well, it's not even right into. You'd still have to move. I don't like this. And I didn't even have to type that. So we get the Contortio body block here. I'm not gonna lie, this is not looking great for our orange player. Wish they did like 1 week April Fool's thing where you get double keys per turn or more. People have been talking about having like a silly mode for a while, or like a rotating mode. I agree. I think something like that would be good to have, but we need a larger population. Because I think there's enough people that wouldn't want to play it. Like, I probably would for the sake of streaming, but I wouldn't play it normally. Like, if I was not streaming Phobies, I wouldn't play a mode like that. And I think there's enough people like me, or that would play it, like, once and be like, ah, that's cute, and then not play it again. And then you end up with a bunch of people, or enough people that love it and only play that mode for however long, and then you end up with these weird queue issues on both sides. I think that's, like, logistically and just mathematically, I think that's the problem. So we get the baby Snakey again. Whose game did we see that in earlier? It wasn't PVZ, right? Somebody else. I'm telling you, chat, I'm not a fan of the bloat. Not a fan. It is going to get a takedown here, possibly, right? Oh, God, no, it doesn't. Bloat sucks. Bloat sucks. Admittedly, bloat, due to its tankiness, does make Shinra put in some extra effort, but... yeah, it's not doing it. Bloat is good for 2 keys, though. There's so many things I'd rather have than bloat. Like, there's so many things I'd rather have than bloat. Pretty much every time. Like, I'd almost always rather have K9000 than bloat. And you generally don't even want K9000, so... Would it not have been better? Well, I guess the goal was to claim this point immediately, but, like, wouldn't it have been better to send Ted down here and Bachelor up top? Remember when bloat was the tankiest 2-key? Feels like not so long ago. True. True. I think I have every 2-key except Cupcake. I think I am in the same boat. I think I'm just missing Cupcake. Cerberus. I mean, we've seen Karst do some things with High Five on this map. Shinra possibly could have gone... Get the Shove Shark Ted play. All the final keys from PVZ getting invested into Hevo 2.0. I'm not a huge fan of those lines. When you go all in on a singular phobia, it generally doesn't work out too well. It does have a boop, so it does have some utility against Cerberus. But really, you need everything to set up a concave against Cerberus, and I think you're better off with like a 4-key and a 3-key, because then you just represent more damage. You just have more actions that you can take. Oh yeah, Bad Omen. I don't have that either. I made an RNG Hearthstone for Hearthstone and hear me out? No. That's it, you're banned. The conveyor stomp with Cerberus. It's the only way to do it. Bad Omen is blue, but better? No, nobody's better than blue. In our hearts. GG. GG. That was a hell of a monster of the week. A little bit long this time because we did look at a ton of other games. Let me know if you like this longer format if you made it this far. Probably nobody ever listens to the closings, although a lot of people did respond in the comments that they are watching the other games. So shout out to all those people. Let me know if you made it this far. Let me know if you want to see more of these games, if you'd rather see them broken out into smaller videos, or how you would like the format in the future. That's going to do it for this one. So as always, everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Tune in next time for more Random's Thoughts.